I didn't let anything get in my way towards becoming a surgeon. Not, marriage, not pregnancies, and not kids. So I just went ahead and, in spite of the fact that I was pregnant with my first child when I sat for the first part of my surgical degree, and then I sat for the second part, and I was then pregnant with my second child, and my two children are 10 months apart, so that was really a handful. It was very tough. I didn't have time to think of any personal, hobbies or anything, and I'm not saying it, but it didn't bother me because I wanted to be a surgeon, and I just went for it. So I never thought of giving up.
I had 3 kids in 36 months. I used to think it was a lot longer than that, and my children reminded me they all came in a matter of 4 years. But I made a lot of sacrifices. We all slept in one room until they were 5. We lived like nomads. I used to send them to my mother's at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'll bring them home at 7. But I was also a mother who believed in discipline. They went to bed at 7, they woke up at 7. I only spent quality time. All my time with them was really about teaching them and inculcating the right values.
There are a lot of different studies that say that women can't be leaders because we get too emotional and everything else. I don't even think that's actually necessarily a weakness, because being empathetic is being able to understand where the other person is coming from. And it's very useful as a negotiation tactic. It's very useful as a way to try and get your point across and also understand the person better.
You have to be as good as the guys, but I think you also actually need to be smarter than the guys. Boys have their own boys network and the women don't. So oftentimes you have to think about it for yourself. When you're a woman, you can have many advantages. I always think that as long as you're good and you're smart and you're clever, clients find it more difficult to score a woman than a man. You can often get your colleagues to help you a lot more than otherwise if you ask them nicely, and it's hard to say no to a woman, right? So I think it's about knowing how to take advantage of the fact that you're a woman in the right way.
Some people, they don't feel comfortable being able to speak up, or to air their opinions, or to think that they actually don't have something valuable to contribute. But what I've always told, not just women, but also people, guys who are in my team, I tell them, look, don't ever be afraid to share your opinion. Don't ever be afraid to say something, because there's a reason why you're at this meeting.
Singaporean women, they're afraid of owning their own success, and they're afraid to negotiate for themselves. And after they start, most of them go and work, before they get married. And once they get married and they think of having a family, that thought sort of pulls them back. They worry about, will I be able to cope with it? What will happen? Who will look after the child? And then they stop aspiring to go to the top of their careers. And another thing which I always say is that if you don't want to get married, which is fine, but if you want to get married, well, choose a man who's a real partner. He has to be a co-parent and a partner, not just a wage earner.